Hey guys, how's it going? It's Al. Welcome to the Top Stacks video, my 5 top stacks for week 1 of NFL DFS on DraftKings. I go through in this video and we're going to take a look at quarterbacks and double stacks because that's the way that I believe you should be playing in tournaments. With all the money up top on these tournaments, I'm not concerned with min cashing. We want all of the money. We play to win on this channel. We don't play to come in 10,000th place out of 100,000. We want to be in the top 100 with an opportunity of getting all the way to the top. So I go with a double stack. I also use a bring back player from that stack, and I'm going to go over the 5 top stacks from my perspective right now. Let's go.
He's a legend.
Make sure that you go check out all of the great products that they have over at establishwithrun.com. Link with a discount is down below if you're a new subscriber, right in the description. It's smizzle.tv/ETR. You get 10% off of any of their packages in season and beyond. If you're in a state that has sports betting live, they have great sports betting content with props and everything else, and they have beaten the rake for 2 straight seasons doing that. Great projections for daily fantasy articles, as well as subscriber-only podcasts if you subscribe now. So go check out establishwithrun.com, where Evan Silva and Adam Levitan and crew put out great content all the time. The Smizz Gang Listener League, we got 1,800 of 4,000. Absolutely no rake. $10 to enter. 3 max. Go to the link, smizzle.tv/links. It is down below in the pinned comment. Al, how do I join your Listener League? It's under the sauce. Right there, under the video. Straight down there, smizzle.tv/links. Click that. It'll have a button that takes you right there. See, if I go to the link tree, it's right here. Smizz Gang Listener League, right here in the link tree. Our first stack of the week. Joe Burrow, my number 1. This is the top stack of the week from a value and ceiling perspective. When you incorporate 2 and a bring back, Joe Burrow going to be extremely popular this week. There's one more stack that's close to this one. We'll get to that in just a minute. But like Joe Burrow, far and away number 1. He may not have, because like this is fantasy football writing in the offseason is all about regression and figuring out who overperformed, who got lucky, who underperformed, who should have scored more touchdowns based on the usage that they have. So Joe Burrow completed an awful lot of deep passes last year. And yeah, that is something that from year to year may not be completely sticky unless you have this guy on the other end of those passes whose skill is to get behind guys just like Randy Moss, just like Tyreek Hill. Remember Tyreek Hill's first year when they said, wow, he caught like this many passes for touchdowns over 25 yards, and that's just not going to happen every year. And then it happened the next year. Then it happened the next year after that. Then it just keeps happening every single year because some guys are anomalies and don't really work with the mathematical skill set involving all pass catchers of all time. So Jamar Chase is also a value this week up against Pittsburgh, who, yeah, they got a good defensive line, but like up front, it's a little bit different. T. Higgins also in that group. There's 4 pass catchers on this group that we like. Not in the same category as Jamar Chase, obviously, but T. Higgins at 6,100 is fine. There's so much value this week on the slate at wide receiver, at running back, at tight end, that you can kind of get away with doing a lot of different things. And spending up on a stack, or sorry, particularly a double stack, allows you enough room at other positions to make it fit somewhat easily. So I kind of really love this double stack with the Bengals. And then we have to find somebody on Pittsburgh to bring it back with. If you wanted to play Hurst, look, there's 2 other guys, right? There's Hurst and there's Tyler Boyd. These are the 4 primary pass catchers. If you wanted to leverage off of this, you could play Joe Mixon. Burrow, Chase, Higgins is too easy to get to and is going to be quite popular. I think Hurst is going to be one of the more popular value tight ends as well. This is not going to be a stack that's going to get you away from the crowd, but the fact that you're playing a double with a bring back will differentiate you a little bit. There's one thing to monitor on the other side of the ball, and that's Deontay Johnson, that shoulder. If he does not play, that creates a big vacated space for Claypool and Pickens to jump into in terms of snaps played, potential targets, and obviously the most popular bring back for this from the crowd is probably going to be Najee Harris because of how much volume he gets. Regardless of how bad that offensive line is, he's been the guy for Pittsburgh week in and week out. My next stack on the list is Patrick Mahomes, number 2 stack on the week, highest totaled game on the week, and Patrick Mahomes averages like 319 yards and just under 3 touchdowns in his career in games that had a total of 50 or more. So like we know that he is averaged the bonus in those types of games. They have the highest team total on the slate at 28.5, and I know Tyreek Hill isn't there, right? We get that. That's been established at this point. But if we take a look at his flex players, Travis KELCE, probably going to be the highest target getter on this team. Going to have the highest target percentage, and he's going to be the most useful player. He's only 6,600. He is a standalone value and can easily be paired with Mahomes. I'm not going to put him in the flex. I put him in the tight end spot because that's where I want him. I'm probably not going to play 2 tight ends this week because there's too much value everywhere else to have to go for that. We don't need to plug that value in there. But at the wide receiver position, Juju Smith-Schuster, standalone value, and I think is going to be the highest target getting outside receiver, meaning not a tight end. I know he's going to play a lot in the slot, but not a guy that's in line. Juju Smith-Schuster, fine. Valdez-Scantling does look like he's going to see a bigger role early in the season from the usage that we saw during the preseason than Sky Moore. He's only 4,700 if you'd rather go with him, or Sky Moore at 3,800 if you want to gamble on the rookie, or Mecole Hardman, who I probably don't want to gamble on. I'm usually going to stick in my Patrick Mahomes doubles this week. Will probably, a vast majority of them, if not all, will be around this triple. And looking at the other side of this game, the Arizona offense is no slouch either, and you've got great spots to go to in terms of volume with Marquise Brown at 6,200. Rondale Moore at 4,000 is going to be a lot of people's favorite value play. He's a standalone value in this game as well. Whether you want to play a secondary stack with them or use as a part of a primary stack, he's going to be an extremely popular play. The less targeted play in terms of tournaments, if he plays, is going to be Zach Ertz. Monitor his injury as the week goes along, because we have Thursday practice reports yet to come out and Friday practice reports that will give us a little bit more of an idea of where things are going if you wanted to play those Patrick Mahomes double stacks. Let's take a look over at Underdog Fantasy. Let's see if I can build a stack with one of these Pick'em cards that they have. I love playing Pick'em over on Underdog Fantasy. If you are new to the site, you get a $100 deposit bonus if you use code ALSMIZZLE, all one word, ALSMIZZLE will get you that. Let's say, look, I'm going to give you a little disclaimer. 1, betting unders or lowers this year on Underdog Fantasy, playing lowers, right? We're not betting. We're just saying he's going to have lower than the number or higher than, it's not an over under, it's a higher lower. We're going to say that he is going to do these things. Obviously, lower is sharper, right? The unders, the lower bets come in more often. There's more paths to those things, more ways for them to get there. Player leaves the game with an injury, player out with a concussion for the whole day. There's different ways for those players to get to the under as opposed to the over, where there's only one way to get there. But overs are more fun. I don't like rooting for punts. I don't like rooting for field goals. I want fun football. So let's see if we can get one from this game, or let's see if I can find the later game.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Jay Steele, thank you for the 1,000 biddies. I appreciate that. I got to scroll way down. Look how many games they have. There's so many you can play. You can play 2 through 5. Do we have somebody from that? There it is. This is what we want. Give me Patrick Mahomes higher than 299.5. You guys are a mess. Jay Steele, thank you for the 500 more biddies. Let me get Juju higher than 47. Travis higher. And I need somebody from the other side. 1.5 passing touchdowns for Kyler. Interesting. I'm going to go higher than 12 fantasy points for Marquise Brown. This is half PPR over here. Let's go with $25. You can get the insurance if you wanted to pay less. I'm going to go all the way in here. 25 to win 250. Confirm. That's in. Let's move on with the video. Kirk Cousins is my next stack, number 3 on the list. There is a chance that this game could play slower than we think just because of what's going on in Green Bay with the wide receiver room. I think that they still pass it. Aaron Rodgers wants to fling it around against Minnesota, and Minnesota does project to be more of a pass-heavy team this year. That's the way their offense is trending. More passing means more plays. More plays means more faster pace. More pace means more scoring. And guess what? He's got a couple of good players we can throw the ball to. One of them is Justin Jefferson. Anytime I can get JJ into a lineup, I'm just going to do it. So playing him, probably every one of my cousin stacks is going to have Justin Jefferson. Beyond him, there's 2 other value plays that I think we can get to. One, 5,400 for Adam Thielen. The next one would be Irv Smith Jr., who does look like he is on track to play, was dealing with some injuries through the preseason. He is a big takeoff candidate here in 2022, and he's only 3,400 in week 1. There's a great possibility that he's going to spend most of the season at 4K or above, especially if he starts off the season hot. So he would be the third guy that I would want. I'm probably not going to have any KJ Osborne in this grouping. And on the other side, we can bring it back, but it's going to be depending on this injury. If Alan Lazard, there's an if-then statement that you're going to have to work in. If Alan Lazard does not practice Thursday and Friday, that's going to open up a lot more space for the extreme value play in this spot, which would be Romeo Dobbs at 3,000. If Lazard plays, he might be the third guy. He might play less snaps because Sammy Watkins is likely starting on the other side at 4,700. We don't also know if Robert Tonyan is going to be ready. So you have to monitor this room to figure out what your bring back play is going to be with those Kirk Cousins stacks. So know about it, think about it, and make your decisions on Saturday after we know, or Sunday morning once we get the Shefty reports to find out who is in and who is out on the other side. Jalen Hurts is the #1 cash game quarterback, and I know I'm going to get these questions down below in the replies. Hey, Al, do I have to stack Jalen Hurts? Yes! You want to win? I mean, look, are there ways to win tournaments if you just play naked Jalen Hurts? Can I just play naked Jalen Hurts in a tournament? What's wrong with you? If Jalen Hurts has 35 or more DraftKings points this week, he's not going to do it all on the ground. It is likely that he's going to be able to carry 2 pass catchers with him. And luckily, we have a couple of pass catchers that will fit that mold. If you're playing a quarterback in a tournament, the key is this. Like, I know you're worried, like, well, what if Jalen Hurts only has like 18 fantasy points? Then you're not going to win that tournament anyway. So playing him naked, you're going to lose. And if you double stack him, you're going to lose too. But if he puts up a 35-point day and you nail those other 2 pass catchers that go along with him, whether it's going to be A.J. Brown, whether you're talking about Devontae Smith, and whether you sprinkle in some Dallas Goedert to go along with him, if he has one of those days where he throws for 300 plus yards and also has 2-3 touchdowns and has that 35-point day on DraftKings, right? Like, think of the paths, the stats that you need to get there. Is he always going to get there? No, but he's not always going to be the tournament winning quarterback either. But on the days that he does, you definitely want to tie 2 of his pass catchers to him so that you are there to get the most and reap the biggest benefits that you can and squeeze as much value as you can out of him. There's some issues right now with the Detroit offensive line, at least it was coming out this morning, with a possibility of 2 or 3 of their starting offensive linemen being hurt against Philadelphia's defensive line. This could be a bad spot. It looks like a great spot for DeAndre Swift, and I like DeAndre Swift this week, but monitor this offensive line moving to the weekend. He would be a great bring back stack candidate, as would Amon-Ra St. Brown, the Sun God, or if you wanted to get a little bit frisky and go with Hawkinson, if in the case that you're not using Goddard to kind of flex off of that with Brown and Smith in that lineup. And our final stack of the show, why is the 5th stack always the puke stack? Daniel Jones. I'll give you a second to wipe the stuff off your keyboard. Look, he's 5K, all right? He projects as a value, as do a couple of his other pass catchers. So there's not a lot in that room right now because of injury. And we'll have a clear picture of who the receivers are who are healthy, and the ones who are healthy are going to be not challenged for targets, right? So at 5K, Daniel Jones in this new up-tempo, really good Brian DeBall offense is fine. Also, Saquon Barkley is going to be very, very heavily played because of his price, new role, this offense, everything else. So you can leverage off of that with a Daniel Jones double stack. You can use him if you believe that Saquon Barkley is going to have over 15% of the target market share. But like, is Sterling Shepard going to play this game? We don't know. Kenny Golladay has been marching in chowder for the entirety of preseason. Is he going to make an impact? We don't know. KADARIUS Toney, massive value at 4,100. When he is healthy, he does work and gets a ton of targets and is great in space. Love him at 4,100 as a standalone. Also, Wan'Dale Robinson being forced into action in the slot at only 3K. And then we don't even know about the tight end spot. Ricky Seals-Jones probably out, 2,500. Daniel Bellinger probably going to be on the field a lot if he makes it through because he's on concussion protocol. We have to wait and see with this, but like, everybody's a value. Imagine having a double stack in this game with 5,000, 8,000, 12,100, and then you can spend up pretty much everywhere else. Tennessee's bringbacks leave a lot to be desired. Woods, maybe the big dog Henry if you wanted to. You have to pick and choose there, but the puke stack is the puke stack for a reason. But thank you guys for joining. Make sure that you head over to the Smizz Gang Listener League and check it out before you get out of here. Let's go build 150 over on Fantasy Labs with these 5 stacks that we had. If you have not checked out the Fantasy Labs how to build 150 lineups video that I did, it is in the how to win playlist on the channel. These are all the same rules that we had set into that. Here's the 5 different positional rules that we have, or 6 different positional rules that we have in play for that. We're going to apply these settings. We're going to come over here. I've already isolated for the 5 quarterbacks in the top stacks video. We're going to hit generate. It's never going to work just going to a site and hitting the lineup builder for 150 times and expecting to print a winner for you. It's going to take a lot of manicuring. It's only a tool that's going to help you build your lineups. It's not going to be a money tree for you. So it's going to take more than just going and clicking the button. Spend a whole lot of time working on your allocations, work on your stacks, make sure that you have the players that you want in your lineups, and go check out Fantasy Labs, smizzle.tv/labs with an uppercase L if you want to take a look at the great tools that they have over there. Thank you for watching. Look out for another video right there.
He's a legend.